Okay, everybody, so I'm going to walk you through a 13-minute essay, basically. This is going to give you the bones of a structured argument. And this will work the best after you have worked through all 12 or 13 steps of that simulated research that we did last week with your own topics. So you started with your gut level claim, you did all of this research, you found multiple texts, you looked for some narrative evidence, some expert evidence, some numerical evidence, and you did some fast writing and you made some pro-con lists and you refined your claim and you did some more fast writing and you came to some conclusions, and now you have a more solid claim about your topic. So in order to start to get a skeleton down for a formal essay, you need to have these things with you. You need to obviously know what your topic is. You need to know what your claim is, your refined claim, the one that you're actually going to use, the one that's specific, and all of your evidence. Okay? So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to set a timer, and I want you to write for 1 minute and only 1 minute in your notebook. And I want you to set up the context for your topic. What is the argument that's out there in the world about your argument? So just a real quick 1 minute fast write to just set up the context for what the argument is. So you can pause this video and do that 1 minute. Okay, so now that you've set up a little bit of the context, you've talked a little bit about what the argument is in the world about your particular topic, I want you to write for 3 minutes on one perspective that you found about your claim or your topic in your evidence. So what's one perspective on this issue? And I want you to try to incorporate some evidence. And you can use phrases like according to, or as the article such and such says, or as the survey I took shows. Because maybe you did that. Maybe you are writing about social media and you talked to all your friends and you got some formal survey answers. That's perfectly acceptable. You can just write about one particular perspective for 3 minutes. Try to explain what that perspective is. Okay, so pause the video and do that 3 minutes. Okay, now that you're back, you can maybe leave a little bit of space underneath that perspective because you probably didn't get to say everything that you wanted to say. So I'd like for you to now write an additional 3 minutes on another perspective on this topic that you're writing about. And this might be sort of a pro-con way to look at it, but it doesn't have to be. Like, it doesn't have to be the opposite of what that last perspective is that you wrote about. It might be the same exact perspective, but from a different point of view. Like, we were researching college tuition, so there are lots of different perspectives. You have a perspective on college tuition. Your parents have a perspective on college tuition. Bankers have a perspective on college tuition. College presidents have a perspective on college tuition. Somebody who's just graduated from college with a lot of debt has a perspective. So what are all of the different perspectives about your topic? And just choose another one to write about. It doesn't have to be the opposite of the one that you wrote in the last 3 minutes. Okay, so pause the video and do another 3 minute fast write. And you might want to use phrases like another perspective is, or however, or adding to, or one thing we don't consider, okay, as you write about this perspective. Okay, so pause and do 3 minutes. Okay, so now we're back, and I want you to do an additional 3 minutes. I want you to put in an experience. You know, what is your experience with this topic? You might use phrases like, I remember. You might use phrases like, I see this occurring in my everyday life when. So you might not have lived through this topic, but you may have observed it. You've watched it happening around you. So what is the experience? What's the personal connection to this topic? So write about that for 3 minutes. Okay, so you're back, and now I'd like for you to write about your claim for 2 minutes. What's your claim? You can refer back to maybe the context that you set up. You can refer back to some of the research that you did, or you can simply explain why you believe what you believe. You know, what is your claim on all of this? So write about that for 2 minutes. Okay, so you're back. This is one last thing, okay? 1 more minute of writing. Give us one final thought, just something to leave us with. You might use phrases like, so maybe, now that I'm thinking, or next time. So what's the last thing that you want all of us to think about as we read about this issue and your claim? Okay, so 1 last minute. Okay, so in 13 minutes, you have the skeleton of a formal essay. And you're probably realizing as you started writing about all those perspectives and you started putting an experience in, that you have a lot more to say about this. And that's a good thing, right? So hopefully you left some space in between so that you can go back and you can start to add in more evidence. You can add in more experience. You can refine your claim a little bit more. So I want you to come back to this on Friday, tomorrow, and start to think about some more types of organizational structures. Okay, but you've got this skeleton that you can work with. You've got a page of writing that you can add to and keep going with over the weekend.